Good Lord have mercy, a blockbuster trade idea from ESPN's Field Yates projected between the New York Jets, the New York Giants to get the number one overall pick. I'll tell you why I love it. We'll talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. News, rumors, analysis, draft, free agency, speculation. All of it's always on the table here on Boy Green Daily. Make sure you guys, as you head on in on YouTube, like the video, whether you're watching live or after the fact. Also, a special shout out to our people watching on Facebook, Twitter, the YouTube replay, or the audio-only version of the program. This morning, ESPN's Field Yates dropped his mock draft 2.0, and we have a link in the YouTube description down below. And he had a blockbuster trade. The Jets currently, right now, if the draft started today, it doesn't, but if it did, the Jets would hold the 7th overall pick in the first round, their own first-round pick. They would also hold the 18th overall pick, that's from the Indianapolis Colts. And he had the Jets trading up from 7 to number 1 overall to select their quarterback. You all know who it is, baby. It would be for Fernando. Yes, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza would be the target for the New York Jets. And here is the trade package. Let's get immediately into it. This is from Field Yates. Again, our buddy from ESPN has joined the show many times. We'll have to get Field on during the offseason, a very pivotal offseason for the New York Jets. Here's what he proposed in his article for ESPN. The Jets would receive the number 1 overall pick, which they would then use to draft Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of Indiana, number 1 overall pick. But here's what the Giants would receive. The Jets' first rounder this year, their own, that's 7th overall. The first rounder they acquired from the Indianapolis Colts, that's currently 18th overall. And a 2026 day 2 pick, what he puts in quotes. Now, for those who are less initiated, day 2 references the 2nd or 3rd round. The Jets don't have a 3rd round pick because they traded that for Hassan Reddick. Great. So all they have on day 2 to reference Field Yates is a 2nd round draft choice. The Jets have their own 2nd round pick, and they have the Dallas Cowboys 2nd round pick. So he has the Jets trading both of their firsts this year and one of their seconds, either way. And I broke down the NFL draft value chart that's down in the article down below to sort of look at the numbers here in this potential trade. And I'll read what Field Yates wrote for the piece. Now, if you look at the draft value chart here, the Jets are getting a wonderful deal. So the first overall pick is worth 3,000 points on the draft value chart. The Jets' 7th overall pick is 1,500 points, so it's half that value. The 18th overall pick is 900 points. Now, all of a sudden, we're at 2,400 points with 600 points to make up. The Jets' 39th overall pick, that's their higher 2nd round pick, is 510 points. The 47th overall from the Dallas Cowboys, from the Quinn Williams trade, is 430 points. Now, I want to remind everybody that all of this is fluid, right? Because there's still 4 games left. So these picks, the Jets may not pick 7th. They may pick 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. I don't know. It's going to change. But I would tell you, if this is the deal that it would require for the Jets to go from 7 to 1, I'm doing this immediately and not thinking twice. This is a phenomenal deal for the New York Jets, a dream scenario. Now, let me say this right at the start before we dive in deep. There is still a chance. Yes, Dumb and Dumber, I'm saying there's a chance that the Jets could get the number 1 overall pick by themselves organically. According to ESPN analytics, the Jets have a 6% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. They have a 6% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick themselves. So there's a path to that just happening on their own. They would need to lose out and they would need some help, which is possible. I think the only winnable game left for the Jets on the slate is the New Orleans Saints, and we'll get into that next week when they hit back-to-back road games at Jacksonville, at New Orleans. So, again, in a perfect world, they get it themselves and they give up no assets. That's obviously ideal. But if there's a 6% chance they land the number one pick, that means there's a 94% chance they don't on their own, which means you'd have to give up some sort of assets if they are indeed in love with Fernando, which takes me back to this. If the Jets can't get the first overall pick on their own, which of course is the most perfect scenario, this is the next best thing. Here's why I believe it's a dream scenario. And by the way, before I even reveal why it's the best scenario, feel free to go to our poll of the day on YouTube. I give you the trade that Field Yates proposed. 7th overall, 18th overall, 2026 second for the Giants' number one overall pick to take the quarterback. You guys can vote right now. Yes, I do that right now, or no, way too much, man. Feel free to vote. We'll continue to reference that throughout the show. So feel free to vote and let us know how you feel. We'll also open up the phone lines in the second half of the show. But I'll start off here why I think it's a dream scenario for the Jets. And I get it. It's scary. Giving up 2 number ones and another high asset is very scary. But consider this, folks. Consider this. If the Jets did this trade, they would have their first overall pick, obviously, that they're taking on the quarterback, Mendoza, in this scenario. They would still have one of their seconds, either their own or the Cowboys. So that's a normal draft. You have a first-round pick. You have a second-round pick. That's a normal draft. In 2026, it's normal. You have the normal picks outside of Hassan Reddick. You don't have that third-round pick. But the first and second round are normal. One first, one second. No big deal. And then in 2027, your assets weren't touched. You still have not 1, not 2, 3 first-round picks in 2027, in theory, to build around your young quarterback. How in the hell would you not want to do that? So, to me, phenomenal. This is great. This is terrific. We get our franchise quarterback. We get a second-round pick to build around him in 2026. We get 3 first-rounders to build around him in 2027. This is magnificent. Absolutely terrific. So I love this deal for the New York Jets. Absolutely love, 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 love. I couldn't love it more. It wouldn't be possible to love it more. And I'm sure I can't wait to hear several people obviously agree with me, because I'm never wrong. All right, let's go to a membership being gifted from our number one Austrian Jet fan. Let's friggin' go. Appreciate you, Austrian. Let's go. Continue to vote on that YouTube poll. We'll be referencing that throughout the program. Feel free to do so. That membership went to the record person. All right, the record person, whoever you are, keeping records and whatnot. But appreciate you joining the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to our guy, number one Austrian Jet fan, for making that dream a reality. Terrific. All right, thank you. Thank you to our number one Austrian Jet fan. We will add that to your total number one Austrian Jet fan. You now have 11 raffle tickets, and I'll update the banner in due time. But we have the Excel sheet updated with the proper representation here on the program. But let's see what all you animals are saying in the comments section. Let's see. Obviously, you guys have to be agreeing with me. I mean, how could you not? Come on. So let's see here. Oh, there's an MFC gifted membership. Let me not miss anything at all. We go, MFC. That's now 4 raffle tickets for you, my friend. Let's read that new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. I love it. It's raining from the high heavens. That membership went to Paul Bruno. Oh, Bruno. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Memberships continue to rain from the high heavens. And those are all raffle tickets, of course, to our monthly giveaway here on the show. So thank you, MFC. Mother effing chew, baby. All right. Let's see. Let's go through some comments. Obviously, everyone's going to agree. Shout out to EC. I see you this morning. Alon, if the Giants settle for that little in a trade back, they are out of their minds. Any trade back must include the best of their 3 2027 firsts. The end. Nevertheless, Raiders will lose out and take old Fernando Mendoza. We'll see. First off, I believe, because I've heard a few people bring this up, this potential of the best of whatever those firsts are. First off, they ask for that. I tell them to pack rocks, buddy. I'm not giving you the best of the 2027 firsts. And I'm sure that's what they'll ask for. But in any negotiation, you shoot high and then you inevitably go down. And I believe I read this somewhere. I'll have to wait to get it official. I tried to get it official before the show. So the Jets, 3 first-round picks next year, their own. Okay. The Colts, okay. And then the third one's more complicated. It is either the Dallas Cowboys first rounder or the Packers, whichever one's a higher pick, is whatever the Jets will receive. I believe that is considered a frozen asset by the National Football League. Because we don't know what the pick is, I don't believe that pick is allowed to be traded until we know what it is. Now, maybe they could trade the rights to it, but I think that's a frozen asset. So I don't believe that pick could be traded until not this offseason, next offseason, once we know what it is. So I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere, but I tried to reference it back this morning and I couldn't find it. So, but I was pretty sure I read that somewhere. So I don't believe that pick can be moved anyway. But interesting nonetheless. All right, let's go through your comments here. And again, continue those memberships, rating from the high heavens, baby. Appreciate it. NC Green jumping on the membership train. Let's go. All right, beautiful. NC Green, that now gives you 4 raffle tickets yourself, good sir. Thank you kindly. All right, let's check who that membership went to here on the old YouTube. All right, let's take a gander here. All right, we got Austrian. Yep. All right, where's NC Green here? I'm a monkey operating a spotlight over here. Here we go. That went to Bank 00067. Hopefully that's not your bank account information, Bank, but nonetheless, I appreciate the passion. Here we go. Great question here from EZ. Great super chat question. Glad we were able to get this in. Let's go to a super chat, which means we hear from my daughter, Soraya Luna.
Wow.
Easy asking about the point total. So, okay, the number 1 overall pick is worth 3,000 points. What are our second and third round picks worth? So I'll give you the breakdown of the second round picks because, again, we don't have a third round pick in this draft because of the Hassan Reddick trade. But here's what our second round picks are worth. So if the draft started today, it doesn't. But if it did, the Jets right now have the 39th overall pick. That's their own second round draft choice. And they have 47, which is the Dallas Cowboys. 39th is worth 510 points. 47th is worth 430 points. So in other words, we start doing the math here. Number 1 overall is worth 3,000 points over here on the NFL draft value chart. People use all their own NFL draft value charts. I just like using this because I think it makes it easier for the fans to sort of understand what picks are worth. So the combination of the Jets' first round picks, which are 7th overall and 18th overall, are worth a combined 2,400 points. So in theory, there's 600 points to make up. Now, I would remind you that in these real-life draft scenarios, teams don't always reference the draft board. Sometimes it ends up being less. Sometimes it ends up being more. So keep that in mind. But if the Jets are giving up their 2 first-round picks, which is 2,400 points, Field Yates said, and a day 2 pick, which means it's 39th or 47th. If the Jets gave up the 39th overall pick, this would still be a trade match that is not quite exact. It would be 90 points short of 3,000 if they gave up their 39th overall pick. And then obviously it would be, what's the math on that? It would be 170 short if they gave up the 47th overall pick. So it's not quite an equal fair value here for the Giants. They're losing a little bit. But to be honest, here's the other part of the equation that factors in here. The Giants have their quarterback. So the Jets know, and the Giants know, they're not taking Fernando Mendoza. So that's one less team that isn't. How many teams will be interested in Fernando Mendoza? That could increase the bids for that pick. If the Raiders are all in, as Alon suggested, the Jets are all in, if Cleveland's all in, if this team's all in, if this team's all in, then all of a sudden things could get froggy and the draft value chart could get thrown out the window. That's possible. But we don't know that at this point. We're here on December 10th. So that part of the equation is unclear. But at a certain point, if you're the Jets, you don't want to bid against yourselves. But here is what Field Yates says. I think this is important to go to. So here's Field Yates' write-up for why he made this selection in here. So first off, here's just on the trade. Quote, the Giants drafted their quarterback of the future in Jackson Dart and a building block pass rusher in Abdul Carter this year, making this a scenario where they would likely field offers to move down if they end up with the number 1 overall pick. The Jets, meanwhile, can make an aggressive move up for a quarterback. Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and now Brady Cook haven't stabilized their quarterback position. The Jets are equipped with more premium draft picks than any other team after their deadline dealings, end quote from Yates. Yes, The Jets are in the best position. They can't be outbid for this. But I would also say you don't want to bid against yourselves. The Jets, in no scenario, are giving up 5 first-round picks for the number 1 overall pick. There's no precedent for that, and that's not happening. So the Jets are not going to have to give up all of their assets for this draft, for this potential trade-up. That would not happen. And here's what he says about Mendoza, our boy, Fernando Mendoza. Quote, Mendoza has had a remarkable season at Indiana, showing off excellent accuracy and a powerful right arm to pair with much improved pocket awareness and sack avoidance after 2 seasons at Cal. He leads the FBS with 33 passing touchdowns this season and just handled an extremely tough test against Ohio State, leading Indiana to its first Big Ten championship since 1967. The Jets are currently 27th in QBR. That's a 40.5 QBR, needing a long-term answer for Coach Aaron Glenn and General Manager Darren Muji to cement themselves within the organization. Yes, so the Jets can't be outbid by anyone, but that is the math. I didn't know if anyone knew that the math was involved here on the program. That is the math of what those picks are worth. So, yeah, obviously it's not going to take 5 first-round picks. So for anyone who says that, and I've seen that a few times on Twitter, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There will be no 5 first-round picks that are included. But let's keep going through your guys' comments. Again, continue to vote on the poll that is on YouTube right now. Would you guys do this trade that you see on your screen, which is, again, 7th overall, 18th overall, a second-round pick for the number 1 overall pick? Would you do it? Let us know in the YouTube poll. Also, make sure you guys like the video. That is a free way to contribute to the program. Let's go through some of your questions here. NC Greenfield, Yates thought the Jets had a chance for the Super Bowl last year. So did I. That did not happen, unfortunately. I love these questions or comments. This is from Frank Lau 1000 on YouTube. Some Jet fans are idiots. They rather not tank and win for no reason and give up a boatload of picks to move up. This is fascinating when people make comments like this. And Frank, let's have a healthy conversation here. I am one that would rather not tank for the most part. Like now, even in any situation, like I'm not going to be watching the game on Sunday against the Jaguars and go, oh man, I really hope the Jets blow this. Like I'm not going to be saying that. I mean, you guys will see what I say because I do play-by-play analysis for the game. But if they lose, I'm like, all right, better pick. That's how I rationalize it. Everyone can do their own thing. But I have not wanted them to tank. And then now they're willing to give up a boatload of picks. Frank, I've got a spoiler alert for you. This is going to blow your mind. But let me tell you this. Yeah, come in close. I know Boy Green is this awesome guy and signs autographs and does all these things, but I don't have this power. I don't control what the Jets do. I know that's shocking. I don't control whether they win. I don't control whether they lose. So, long story short, to call fans idiots for rooting for wins for their team, and then now there's a scenario that presents itself that we're talking about them trading up to land a quarterback, and you're saying, oh, what an idiot. If he would have just lost the games, they wouldn't have to trade up. Frank, I don't control whether they win or lose. I don't get to just pick up, lose every game, and then we give up no picks. I don't control that. None of us do. We must react to what happens. If you, in your body, Frank, want to root for the Jets to lose on Sundays, God bless. It's a free country, man. We're in America. You can do that. If that's how you prefer to watch your Sundays, that's a glutton for punishment, but God bless if that's what you want to do. No judgment over here, man. No shame. But then don't judge the other way about, hey, I'm rooting for a win for my team. I like seeing wins. We haven't seen a lot of them. I like seeing wins. But the fact of the matter is neither of us control you on the tanking side or me on the winning side. We neither control what's going to happen. But we can simply watch what happens and then react to what happens. That's just the thing I don't get. There's so many people that say that, like, those idiot fans. Do they know wrestling isn't real? Yes, I do. Did you know that Tom Cruise, when he does a triple axel spin in the jet, that's not physically realistic and he would die? Oh, no? Oh, did you know dinosaurs aren't real in Jurassic Park? Yeah, actually, yeah, I get it. They're not alive walking around anymore. Yep, I get it. Come on, man. You suspend disbelief. You watch the games. You try to have a good time. Come on, man. Come on. Anywho, let's get through a couple of comments here. Yeah, that's right. J__D__S. We could have had Trevor Lawrence. Would have been good times. Sure. Yeah. And hey, some of these quarterbacks, right? Do the Saints still want a quarterback with Tyler Shuck looking like he's looking? Does Cleveland still want a quarterback with Shadur looking how he's looking? I don't know. Dave Brigger said, I'd be shocked if the Jets won another game. Yeah, I think the only winnable game to me is the Saints. Jaguars are 9-4, and they're fighting for the AFC South. Bills and Patriots need no explanation. Patriots are vying for the number 1 seed. Bills are vying for playoff position, and they have a few head-to-head tiebreakers, which would hurt them, so they want to keep winning. So everyone's motivated. The only one who isn't is the Saints, and Tyler Shuck looked pretty good last week. They upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we lost to already. So I don't know. I see maybe one more win. But hey, that's why you play the games. Upsets happen on a week-to-week basis. Did anyone have the Saints beat the Bucs? I think I did on my pick sheet, but still, you don't know. All right. Let's keep going through your comments here. Yeah, the JSN stuff. JSN looks great. Let's go to Mac Attack, our boy Mahar Khalil. Is Adrian Martinez a free agent? Can he be brought back? Adrian Martinez was cut yesterday, and yes, he could be brought back. That is true. We're going to find out from AG. AG speaks today, right before 1 o'clock. And we will find out at that point what's up with the quarterbacks. Brady Cook is healthy, so put him in a bucket. Justin Fields is dealing with knee soreness. He's up in the air. And Tyrod Taylor's dealing with a groin. He's up in the air. However, here's a hint, okay? So the Jets only worked out one player yesterday. It was Kingsley Jonathan. I actually know Kingsley. I covered him here at Syracuse. And they signed him. He's a defensive lineman, for those who don't know. The Jets did not work out a quarterback yesterday. To me, this would have been, what I'm about to tell you right now, would have been the theme of the show if it wasn't for this ESPN trade I looked at and was sort of fascinated by early this morning. So this would have been the theme. But there's a hint. The Jets didn't work out any quarterbacks yesterday. So that would seemingly indicate that the group they have is going to be okay. So the Jets must feel confident enough about the health, because if they did not, they'd work out a quarterback. Because if either of them are compromised, Tyrod or Justin, you'd think that the Jets would want to bring in a quarterback just in case to potentially back up Brady Cook. But they didn't work out anybody. The waving, what's his name? Brian Windhorst meme. What does that all mean? What does that all mean? So I would think that indicates you're not bringing anyone in, and thus the quarterback health must be good enough on the team. But yes, Adrian Martinez is a free agent. The 49ers did some finagling with their roster, and he has shook free temporarily. The Jets could add him to the roster. Yes. Yes, they could. That is true. That is true. Let's go to a few more comments here. J__D__S says Field Yates doesn't know anything. All right. Okay. This is an analysis piece, so I'm not saying that he has inside sourcing that the Jets and Giants will make a trade 5 months before the draft. That's not what I'm indicating at all with this. He's just bringing up an idea, and I think someone from ESPN that's got some name value. This is different than someone proposes a trade on firstoverallpick.com. So I think it holds more credence for discussion, and especially trade value, which I found interesting. Let me see. You guys have some other interesting comments in here. Yes, we do have a lot of snow coming down. We do. It was we got a nasty little storm last night. Let me see. Someone just asked me I can't find it now, but someone asked me about Will McDonald. What do I think about Will McDonald? I think that was Brian Farrell who asked that question. Well, it's a complicated story here for old Willie. He's had some dominant games, right? He had 4 sacks against the Browns. He had 2 sacks against the Steelers, but there's been a lot of invisible games. Like this past game, he didn't have a sack, didn't have a quarterback hit, didn't have a pressure, didn't have nothing. So it's bizarre. But I still imagine the Jets have to make a decision on his 5th-year option because this could be an accept and trade situation. They could trade him this offseason, but I imagine pass rushers are hard to find. While he is nowhere near consistent, I imagine the Jets pick up the 5th-year option on his contract, and they will have to make that decision in May. If they decline that option, Will McDonald will be a free agent in 2027. If they accept it, Will McDonald will be a free agent in 2028. So we'll see. The Jets will have to make that decision this upcoming offseason. Taylor Sterling says, I could see Mendoza falling out of the top 5. Wow. Oh, okay. Maybe. I'm not so sure about that, but maybe, I guess. Yeah, let's see some other comments here. Let's go to, okay, yeah, wow, comments are firing through here very quickly. Let me see. Deshaun says I'd take a second rounder for Will McDonald. Yeah, it depends on where that second rounder was, but I would maybe I would be intrigued by that. That's possible. Deshaun here. If Mendoza falls to us, pick him. Trading up for him is not the move. I respect everyone's opinion on the matter, which again, we have a poll up, so you guys can continue to vote. Sure. In a perfect world, I'd like the Jets to organically have the number 1 overall pick, take whoever they want. In a perfect world, I'd like Mendoza to fall to us, and we just get him. But if the Jets can trade up for him, and it doesn't cost everything they have, I think it's worth considering. And it all depends on something. I don't know. Deshaun doesn't know. Alon doesn't know. Frankie doesn't know. Jeff, John, blah, 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 blah. Do the Jets like Mendoza or not? We don't know. Now, they visited him, I believe it's 4 or 5 times this season, and a couple of those times included their entire brain trust. That's Darren Muji, head of scouting. Like, they've had a few where the whole freaking Jets front office was there. Now, that could always be a smokescreen, I guess, but that they visited him at least 4 times, and I think it's 5, of like seeing him at a game and whatever else happens behind the scenes with him there. If they like him, it's worth it. If they believe he's a franchise quarterback, guys, we need to give, well, you don't, I guess, but I will. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You think he's the guy? Then go freaking get him. I don't want someone else to have our franchise quarterback if you believe he is that guy. If they don't believe, obviously they're not going to move up. If they don't think he's the guy, they're not going to move up at all. They'll stay and rebuild the roster. The good news is I think no matter what way we go on this debate train of whether you're on my side, I'm like, hey, if there's a franchise quarterback, you go get him. Or you say, hey, let's build up the team. Those are both viable options. I know we're built in this society for me to say anyone that wants to just build up this team because it's not the path I would choose is an idiot. I should yell at them and call them names. But that's not what I'm going to do. No. We just have different perspectives, and different perspectives are fine. Actually encouraged on this show. I like having conversations. I like me saying this piece. Someone calls and says, I completely feel the opposite way. All right, well, explain why. Why do you think so? Interesting. Okay, great. Or terrible. Or whatever, and we can have a hearty discussion about it. So, yeah. We will open up the phone lines in here because I am fascinated to hear what the people have to say about all this as well. By the way, as we're waiting here, let me do this. Let me show you guys the prize for this month's raffle. And again, I just keep getting too busy. I need to put together. There is more than just this prize I'm about to put on the screen, but this is the main squeeze of said prize. I got to get it on. I'm sure that'll encourage even more raffle tickets coming through. If you guys are new to the channel, we do giveaways every single month on this YouTube channel. And all you have to do is throughout any given month, again, because we do it every month, is spend $3 on the channel. $3. That's it. You don't have to do it all at once. You can spend $1 today, $1 tomorrow, $1 the next day. That works the same because I keep track of it behind the scenes. But $3, if you spend $3, you have a chance to win the prize I'm about to throw on the screen. You could buy as many raffle tickets as you want. There's no limit. So obviously, the more you buy, the better your odds are. So that's up to you out there in the universe. But here it is. It is the beautiful Nick Mangold tribute shirt from the New York Jets. They came up with this. A lot of the players wore this out on the field, and they're selling these, and they're terrific. It's a true Jet 74. It's that beautiful Nick Mangold beard, long locks, the aviators, the classic Nick Mangold look with the hat on backwards. I purchased this shirt, and the Jets are donating those proceeds to the National Kidney Foundation, which is a wonderful cause. Unfortunately, that's a reason we lost Nick Mangold, so it's a cool way to honor him with a monthly giveaway tribute here. dedicated to our guy Nick Mangold. We'll have a New York Jets Santa Funko Pop, the beard thing. I like that, the connection. So we'll have some festive stuff. We'll have some of our tailgate. I'll throw another tailgate package together for anyone who missed a tailgate. You'll get the tailgate experience in a box. So you'll get that. You'll get the Nick Mangold shirt. You'll get the New York Jets Santa Funko Pop and some other stuff. So we're going to be throwing all that together. But this is the main prize. If you guys want a chance to win that beautiful tribute shirt, all you have to do is spend $3. The shirt, by the way, is $40. And then plus shipping. So, and that's just one of the prizes. So think about that. You could spend $3 to get something that's worth far more. And I pay for shipping on the other side. So it's a great deal, folks. Great deal. Make sure you guys jump on the train. Nango Iboko says, I like festive stuff. Festive stuff will be included. Guaranteed. Yes. And we're around the holidays. Why the hell not? It's great. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anyone's super chats or memberships coming through. I see this MFC, Austrian, NC Green, EZ. You guys keep those flowing, baby. Much appreciated. And again, happy birthday to EZ from earlier this week. Yes, sir. We'll do this. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll welcome your phone calls. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to call in to agree. Why wouldn't you? Let's hit up the phone lines. We'll have more after this.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. Fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. The New York Jets football club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets. Fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
You heard it there. There's the Hepster, baby, from our wonderful tailgate this year, which was a real treat. So that was a charm. I appreciate that. By the way, if you guys want to keep referencing the Jets-Giants trade proposal from Field Yates, you guys can find that in the YouTube description down below. That is in the article. But as we're opening up the phone lines, I want to see as much of the beautiful faces that'll be calling into this show as humanly possible. So make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe, baby. Here we go. All right, let's kick it off. Let's go to him. Last time I checked, it is a Wednesday, and that is normally where this guy gets us in. And I appreciate that by gracing us with his presence. Let's go to the best chef in the universe. If you like would rank the greatest chefs of all time, and you put them on a list, there's a lot of names of chefs you could list. Maybe some of you are Gordon Ramsay fans. Maybe. Okay. Maybe one of the Iron Chefs. Morimoto, perhaps. Emeril Lagasse. Yeah, sure. Bobby Flay. Kat Cora. I don't know. Maybe you guys got a lot of names out there in the universe. I know what my name is. And this is my tribal chief. This is my head of the table. This is my chef. And he's a lot of your chefs out there as well. Chef Kevin Gilbert, baby.
Damn, BG, appreciate that introduction, my brother, man. Thank you so much. A lot of legends right there.
Yeah,
The difference is that none of them got the heart to take on a team like the Jets, man, and stick through it like us, man. It's it's a tough journey. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Coffee Club members, man. Shout out number one Austrian Jet fan, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Hey, with what you got going on, man, with that trade proposal, for me, it's like, if Fernando Mendoza is that guy, then and they believe in him and that he's going to be a difference maker and all, you got to make the trade, man.
100%.
For myself, is it a little too rich? It could be, but then you think about the times when people trade up in the draft and for a first, obviously they get ours and then, another one and then a second rounder. I mean, if this is the dude, then it might not be that bad. But then it's like like what you were saying before about like bidding against ourselves. Like that obviously can't be the first offer we put on the table. Like,
right, correct.
we got to see how everything pans out. And to like what Brigas said before about us winning, I'm pretty hopeful. I want to see wins and all that. I honestly really don't see any more wins, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you where it's like, I'm not gonna cheer to lose, but at this like it's not in me. But at the same time, we got to be real. Like how they played this past Sunday, man. I
Uh,
was at that game again. Like, dude, I heard the national anthem walking to my seat. Before
hmm
I even got in my seat, we're already down. I'm like, already? And then it only got worse.
Much worse.
21 points in the first quarter, and there was still time. Now, yeah, the defense stepped up in the second quarter, right? Like they only
Sure.
scored
Yeah.
3 points on us, but still the damage was already done.
Yep.
Like the Dolphins, they should have probably beat us a little bit more, knowing that we have Brady Cook back there.
hmm
Um, I don't know. I told you before about the locker room and all that. Players ain't playing like how they were in past years with the same talent. For whatever reason, now it's like, hey, they don't play good anymore. What is it? They're giving up, man. It's obvious. The starting quarterback said, "Hell nah, I quit." That's obvious. That's losing the locker room. Definition. Your starting quarterback, your captain said, "Hell nah." All right, and now
hmm
and now the backup down 21. Like my groin. Yo, come on, man. That's some p-word stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like for real, my groin.
Broken word.
Nah,
Yeah.
he knows because what is it? They want to establish the run. They want to establish the run. They ain't no run. They couldn't establish nothing. What are you talking about? Establish the run. They haven't established the run all year. Yeah, Brees, yeah, got some glimpse and all that kind of stuff. But when you're
Mhm.
down 21, what's gonna happen? Tyrod knows. Oh, we're gonna throw the ball, which means he's gonna get his ass lit up, man. He
Mhm.
knew what time it was. Like, nope, checked out. I'm done. I'm good. And what happened? Yo, if your life, your job security, money, all that, man, your livelihood's on the line. You're a skills player on offense. Man, you cash that pigskin, man. Yo, with all these drops we've been seeing, man, like touchdowns right there, we dropping. Yo, where's the heart? Where's the concentration? Focus, man. Yo, you're dropping the balls. You're keeping your eye off the ball. You worried about getting hit and all that stuff, man. Yo, and and then that's my thing, man. Like, yo, if Mendoza's the guy, which I've said before, man, I'm not sold that he's this transcending quarterback. Does he look good?
Sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, if we get him, I'm happy. I'm happy. I don't want to give up the farm for him. I don't want
Right.
to give up a boatload. I think what's on the table, I don't think anybody can offer better than that.
Definitely not.
So, and with us, just from me, man,
Yeah.
I'm
Sure.
I'm I'm, I'm 6 wins this season before we started. So you know, I I,
Still
I don't see I
possible.
don't I don't see no more, man. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't. The defense, they're allergic to turnovers. The
Jesus.
the, the balls in their hand, 53 Walker, whoever, I don't even know his first name, man.
Michael. Yes.
Whoever he is, wherever he came from. I see, and that's the thing, man. I can't consume my brain. This is your job. I
Yeah. I
can't
guess.
consume my brain with these bums, with these practice squad dudes that we see for a hot sec. They're all of them are trash, and and
hmm
we see it on the field. What are they doing? You couldn't have had an easier pick six. It's right there in your hands. Nah, man. They all allergic to this stuff, man. Like play defense. And that's the thing. Like I knew going into this game, one of the biggest things for us to look at and evaluate is a secondary. I knew
hmm
that. I knew that coming in, man. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Stevens, AZ. What? Yo, what are y'all seeing? They good? What picks? Y'all talking about Sauce right now having picks? Yo, the whole
hmm
team ain't got no picks.
Nope. Zero.
What's up with this, man? Yo, that's coaching.
Embarrassing.
How's the whole team gonna digress? Yo, it's coaching. And I was bought in a little bit, man, when he
Yeah.
when he when he benched Fields. I was bought in because the previous regime with Zach, they drafted him, right?
Yeah.
So Sal and JD, they had to keep saying like, nah, Zach's the guy, whatever. They did that nonsense for years. All right, at least I got a little bit of respect for AG, where it's like, okay, you realize this is the problem. You knew beforehand. You just didn't really want to tell the media and all of us fans, what was kind of going on behind the scenes. I get it. I get it. Didn't want to be a distraction or whatever. Now he's done. Now Fields is gone. If this is your dude, you get him. I'm just, I'm not confident that Mendoza is then going to take another step, another leap with us. Who's the guy, man? Who's going to train him? Who's going to get him right? Who's going to make him see the field? Angstrand, who was a tight end coach last year? Ah, man, I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. It's we need more talent, man. We need veterans on this team. We're at that game,
Mhm.
we're cheering for special teams. I swear to
It's
God,
true.
that's
It's
the
true.
only thing we had going on, man.
It's
I'm
really
talking
the only
about
thing we've had all
the
season.
diehards that are at the game, man.
Yeah.
We cheering for that. That Williams play, that's all we had.
Yeah.
That was it. Down
Great play.
21.
Shout out to Isaiah.
Yo,
Yeah.
I've roasted him on all the shows because the last time we played the Dolphins,
Yeah.
he did all that dumb stuff. So
Stupid.
stupid that he actually got kicked off the damn team.
Yeah.
I'll take
True.
that, coach, and my bad on that. Hey, all right, I'm
Hey,
wrong. The coaching
salute to
worked for
AG.
that particular situation. The coaching ain't help out what linebackers, what
Yeah.
else secondary.
Right.
Where's the coaching on that? Wide receivers, they got all of a sudden they inherited Lazard's hands.
Mhm.
Everyone's dropping stuff. Even Taylor, right? He had a couple of drops. Like, guys,
He
what's
did.
going on?
Yeah.
It was yeah, like the Atlanta game, it was wet, it was
Mhm.
cold.
Mhm.
All right, it was windy. I get that one. It wasn't wet. It was a little chilly. Yeah, it was a little windy, but the wind that was there at the game, not enough to affect, how you're catching the ball. And a lot of these times, they're open. It's hitting them, both hands. It's hitting them in their hands. There's literally no excuse as to why they're dropping the ball, man. It's just a lack of concentration. And that's coaching, man. If you're not
I agree.
focused, man, that's what's gonna happen. The mistakes are gonna happen. And as fans, we're all frustrated. The tankers
Mhm.
aren't. The tankers are happy, like, oh yeah, drop more
Oh.
passes,
Oh
which
yeah. Yeah.
it's what it is. It's going to
Stay.
help us out. But
Yeah, I
I
guess.
to on today's topic, man, I would do that trade because we need help, man. Brady Cook,
All right.
he ain't the guy, man. What are
That
we
was
talking
tough.
about, man?
That was
We should.
tough.
I told you before. We should have had Martinez. Martinez is the better one. I felt like they got rid of him because they wanted to clean house with all the JD players as best as they could. And it's not like Martinez was that much better than Cook, but in my opinion, being
Mhm.
at training camps and all that, Martinez was better. But
Hey,
you go.
Martinez just got cut yesterday, so maybe there's a Jets reunion happening today. I don't know.
Yeah, but then it's like you want to go back to that. I don't see
I
that.
don't
I,
know.
I I
Yeah.
would I would, but I don't see that happen. Why would Martinez want to come back to this? And why would
I
the
don't
Jets
know.
want to be like, hey, we made a mistake, we want you back? Like, I
That's
don't I
also
don't
true. I don't know. Yeah.
nah, I don't see that. I don't see that happening, man. They made a mistake, but a mistake is what? Like, was Martinez going to win us a bunch of games? Nah, it wasn't going to
Probably not.
happen. You know
No.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't going
Yeah.
to happen. So it's kind of what it is. I'm not cheering for the tank,
Mhm.
but those L's, man, it's only gonna help us
Yeah,
moving
that's true.
forward. It's
Yeah.
what it is. I don't have it in my heart, man. I'm not a loser. In
Right.
life, I'm not a loser. I got a lot
Nah,
of
definitely
wins,
not.
man.
Yeah, you
And
do.
you know what and that mentality of yeah, let's lose, like cheering. I can't cheer for losses.
No,
I understand
I
what happens when we lose, but I
right.
can't get mad when we score touchdowns and this and that or whatever. Are we going to give up a ton for Martinez? I don't think so, man. Because here's the one thing with Muji, I think most of us could agree on when it comes to the trades that he made for the Briggs and the Phillips, right before the season started, and then the
Mhm.
in season trades that he made. I don't feel like we got hosed on those trades. So I feel like he will be able to get the most out of whatever trade if we have to move up for the pick. I don't think we're going to get number one, but I feel like we are in good hands at least for that. It's just the next step of all right, we got the guy, he's on the team. How are we going to make him better? That's
Mhm.
that for me. That's the question mark.
It's a big question. I
Yeah.
concur. I am with that, Chef.
So I mean, hey man, Your beard looks great, man.
Thank you.
Looks good.
Okay.
I ain't
Excellent.
I ain't mad at that, man.
Oh, all
You're
right.
man of your word. You did the bet,
I did.
went through
Yeah.
with it. I salute you on that, my brother.
Thank you.
Stay warm, up there. I know the stuff is happening. It's cloudy here, man. It's definitely cold. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's gonna happen or whatever, but good chances. Stay dry, my guy. Great work on that play by play.
Thank you.
I caught the fourth quarter as I was leaving the stadium.
Ugh.
I ain't staying there for that mess, man. You kidding me?
Yeah.
No
Hmm.
effort. We
Hmm.
losing like this.
Hmm.
Like yo, come on, man. Like I felt like there was more effort in the Cowboys game, and we were losing 30-3 going into the fourth quarter. I
That's
felt
true.
like there was more effort
Those
in that
works.
game,
Yeah.
and we were getting gassed in the first half, man. Like
Yep.
the stupidity. But Brady Cook, man, he has an arm though. That's
True.
one thing
Yeah.
that I can't. And it looked like he was throwing it like a little too hard,
Yeah.
like rockets at 15 yards or whatever. He's throwing rockets. And at the
Hmm.
end of that it was the first half, right? He did a little Hail
Yeah.
Mary that was
Yeah.
reminiscent of that Black Friday Fail Mary, where I'm like,
Yes.
oh, please, man, it's around like that 50-yard line, whatever, the 45. But he was running and then threw a nice ball, man. It wasn't even a
Hmm.
moon ball. He threw a
No.
nice ball on
Very
the
nice.
run, which was way more impressive than that Tim Boyle BS, where he couldn't even throw it past 50 yards into the end zone, throwing out the 1 yard line.
Embarrassing.
But that's some other stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I'll let you get to other calls, man. I appreciate your time, BG, all the content that you're doing, man. Let's go, Jets.
There he is, Chef, joining us here on the program. We had a comment in the middle of Chef's call saying, yeah, sure, we got some Jet games this season. But what about that Chef Kevin Gilbert tailgate again next year? Yes, our full plan is to bring Chef back for sure, as long as he'll continue to have us. And so I can't wait, guys. More details on that to come. And I see you guys asking for it. Here you go. Before we go back to the phone lines, here you go. Oh boy, that's the theme of the show. Field the H would have the Jets trading up for that man, Fernando Mendoza of Indiana. Quarterback, #1 overall pick. Wouldn't that be sexy? And wouldn't that cause debate for many years to come? Fernando. Make sure you guys like the video, by the way. We've got 300 people in the room, including 100 of those 300 on YouTube. Make sure you guys like the video and grow and help grow the growing army of Boy Green Daily listeners. We have, let me check here on YouTube, 38 likes, but over 100 people in the room. Come on, people, don't be frugal around the holiday season, around all of this action happening. Make sure you guys like that gosh darn video here. That's a free way to contribute here on the program. Also, let me check real quick before we go back to the phone lines here. How many subscribers we currently have to the channel? Let's see. 8,201. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well as we try to make a chase to 10K. We're less than 1,800 away, chipping away every day. Here we go. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Up next is Easy. Birthday week.
Hey. Thank you.
Good morning, Easy. Yes.
Beard's filling back in nicely, I see.
Yes, I'm starting to. It's grabbable again, so that means it's coming along nicely. Yeah.
Is it that little itchy phase at this point?
I feel like maybe I've just surpassed. I don't know because I haven't. I guess I haven't cut it in a long time. But no itchy phase, no nothing. It's just the development phase. I don't know if I will. Maybe I don't. I'm immune to the itchy phase, which is great. Great. No one likes that.
Well, you did cut it at 1.5, so it was like it wasn't like you shaved it down. You had to worry
I
about
guess
it
that's
all
true.
growing straight out again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you did shave it down, it'd probably be itchy about now.
That's probably
because where it is now is usually where it starts itching when you start from scratch. So,
yes.
Start from scratch.
I saw what you did there. That's very nice. Well done.
You kind of fucked up my super chat. I was trying to say what are the points worth, and I looked it up. The second overall pick is worth 2,600 points, and the third overall pick is worth 2,200 points. So the point I was trying to make was that
I see now.
if yes, so if the Jets lose out, not by tanking, but they just I don't see them winning.
Right. Naturally, they just lose games. No,
I could see maybe one more game. But there are a couple of dual loser teams that have to play each other, so that could affect it too. So let's say the Jets get the third or fourth overall pick, and they call the Giants.
Which is what they're projected, by the way. Because, to your point, right, there's less room to make
instead
up.
Of this, so instead of this fucking bullshit scenario of seventh round pick, what would it take to equal 3,000 points if we finish third with 2,200 points? If we have the third
then you'd only
pick
have
worth 20. Now we'd probably have to, pay them probably like 3,300 points, because that's kind of how it works when they know you're going for a QB. You got to pay the QB tax. So what scenario would you see? Would you say maybe a first rounder this year swap and then a first rounder next year, one of our 3 first rounders next year? What would that be in points? I don't know. I don't want to give up my first next year, but I'm just trying to count points here and see what would it take.
Yeah, sure. Here's what the math would be, and I think hopefully maybe this delights fans, maybe it doesn't. So in that scenario, let's say they have third overall. And then the Colts, I don't think they're winning another game if you look at their record. So then that pick is probably going to be 15th overall. If the Jets gave up 3 and 15, I think that's all they would have to give up. They wouldn't have to give up any other picks. So 3 and 15
how many points is that?
3 and 15, if that were to happen, would put them around 3,200 and change, 3,250. Which would be a 250
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then we still have everything next year.
Correct. And 2 second-round picks this year. On top of having the quarterback, obviously, that you'd be trading for. So you'd get the quarterback that would be your first-round pick that you'd use. You'd still have 2 second-round picks.
So we get our guy, and then we have 2 second-round picks. And if we absolutely fell in love with a wide receiver, we could take those up. 2s and trade up back into the first to get a good wide receiver. Or what one position on defense do you think we need drastically bad? And I'll tell you what I think we need. I think we need a good safety.
Ooh,
I think now I don't know if we get him in the first round or the second round, but we got to get a safety. We need somebody to solidify center field. Now, say what you will about the guy who's on Miami now. He was number 21 for us.
21. Oh, Ashton Davis you're talking about.
Right. Say what you will about Ashton Davis. I thought his last year with us, he was actually playing some really good ball.
Mm-hmm.
And even though on times when he wasn't playing absolutely good ball, he had a nose for the football. You have to admit that. He always had at least 1 or 2 picks. So, I mean, Ashton Davis, I actually was not happy that we traded him for him. And I didn't like the guy the first couple of years. But when we did let him go, I was like, damn, the guy's finally figuring out, and now we let him go? I thought it was kind of I just didn't think it was a prudent move because he'd been improving. So that's my take on that. So as far as defense, would you go for like a Haloti Ngata type or first, or would you go for a safety? And also, do you think if personnel packages that are available in the draft are there, do you think they could switch to a 3-4? And here's one more scenario. Let's say we get Jim Schwartz. Okay. Let's say Cleveland cleans house and Jim Schwartz is available.
Yeah.
I'd grab him up so fast. I'd hire him before I fired Steve Wilkes.
Wow.
I would do a changing of the guard. I would do what they did to Kenny O'Brien. I would get Boomer Esiason and then let Kenny O'Brien go. Which, by the way, I just want to put on record. I hated the way they treated Kenny O'Brien. I thought that was a disgusting move. I also thought it was a mistake because at that point, Kenny was kind of beloved. But I get it with Boomer. but he was kind of at the end of his career. And the only reason they did that was because we had Bruce Coslett as head coach. That droopy-eyed fuck. But I'm sorry. I don't think he.
Appreciate your honesty.
And that to me is proof that he wasn't a good coach. He didn't think he could teach another guy. He wanted to make it easy on himself by having Boomer Esiason. But I mean, you got to remember that changes a lot of shit when you go to a left-handed quarterback. That changes a lot
the ball
of stuff.
spins the other way. Right. No, right. 100%.
But I don't know so much about catching the ball, but I mean, handing the ball off and everything's backwards.
That's correct. Yep.
So I mean, it takes a while for the backs and all those guys to figure that out. Anyway, I mean, nothing. All love to Boomer. I mean, I didn't grow up in West Islip, but when I was married, I lived in West Islip, and Boomer was from East Islip. He went to East Islip High School, and he's one of those lifelong Jet fans. So that softened the blow of having him on the team. But there was another guy who was a lifelong Jet fan who we had on the team, who was awesome, and that was Vinny Testaverde. He went to Sewanaka High School.
Oh, cool.
In Elmont.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to Sewanaka High School, and both Vinny and Boomer both had posters of Joe Namath on their bedroom walls.
All right,
I mean, they were diehard Jet fans. So my biggest sadness is that Vinny didn't get to go to the Super Bowl with the Jets. That is one of the saddest things, because he went from being a Heisman Trophy winner to having a really, really, really rough start in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I did see something on YouTube the other day. It was it was a little like info thing on Chucky.
Okay.
We all know who Chucky is.
Yeah, we do.
And
I actually believe I have something here for you. Yeah, here he is.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
Yes.
John Gruden. And I remembered it once I saw his face. John Gruden, do you know whose careers he's resurrected? I mean, guys that he turned from nothing into something.
Who's that?
Okay, do you remember a player who played for the he took the Raiders to the Super Bowl?
Rich Gannon?
Rick Gannon. Yeah. Who do you think coached him? Not head coach, but who do you think was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
And he's not the only one. So what I would love to do, here's my scenario to save draft picks and other shit.
All right.
I think we get Chucky somehow in this building. I don't care how you get him in the building, but we got to get him in the building as maybe quarterback coach, passing game coordinator, something. Got to get him in here. Okay?
All right.
Get him in here. Get Chucky in this fucking building. I don't care what Aaron Glenn thinks. All right? At this point, I don't give a shit. I want to fucking win. I want Chucky in the building teaching either our brand new quarterback, whoever that is.
Okay.
Or that would be the only scenario where I would take Mac Jones.
Oh, wow.
Because I could see Mac Jones being and John Gruden together. I could see Mac Jones turning it around because the kid does have fucking talent. Didn't he play at Alabama?
He did play in Alabama. He was an Alabama guy.
You don't play at Alabama if you suck. I don't give a shit. I mean
Greg McElroy might have something to say about that, but yeah.
But what I'm saying is that could be a really decent reclamation project because he's still relatively young. What is he, like 25 now?
Yeah, let's see. I'll do a Google for you real quick. Goog. He's 27.
Oh, 27.
Yeah, he turns 28 in September.
28. 4 or 5 years in the league without getting your brain smashed in. He's a little older than I would like, but I think we got to get John Gruden on this team. We need a bona fide quarterback whisperer. We have to have one.
All
And
right,
it's a
so
good way
let's,
for him to get back into the league in kind of an under the radar job where, you know, the powers that be may not hate it that much, because I could see them not wanting him as a, league ownership and management, maybe not wanting him. And I'm talking the NFL. I'm not talking, because he had the lawsuit. I could see them not really hating it that much if he wasn't a head coach. You know what I'm saying? But the guy's got the chops. That's if you look up, that's not the only guy that he's had reclamation projects on. That's just the only guy I can remember.
All right. John Gruden, Chucky. Okay, something to consider. John Gruden, he's available. He's certainly available, that's for sure. Yeah. All righty. All right. Interesting thoughts as always from EZ. All right, let's see. Get a few super chats in here. Let's go to our main squeeze, one of the best Jets YouTubers out there. It's Ricky New York Live.
Wow.
Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat combinations coming through, adding to your raffle total prizes here. You're now up to 2 raffle tickets with your previous super chat combinations. Paul, do you think the new season of Stranger Things playing that Fernando song you've been playing is a sign? And how isn't it? I have seen it. They've broken up, for those who are fans of Stranger Things on Netflix. It's broken up into 3 parts. They just released, like whatever it was, Thanksgiving a week or 2 ago. The first part of Stranger Things, a couple of episodes. We get another pack like on Christmas, and then New Year's is the final slice of that pie. How is it not a sign? I watched it, and when I heard that, when the Demogorgon was going in to smack around, who's that, Holly and her mom, and then you just hear that song, I'm like, oh my goodness, Fernando. It's like a sign from the gods that is, it's a great jam, by the way, a great foot tapper. There's got to be something there. There's got to be something there. I know Alon called earlier this week and he really pressed me. Is he a generational quarterback? Is he a guy? Is he just Kirk Cousins? By the way, Kirk Cousins had the personality of Kirk Cousins rubbed some Jet fans the wrong way with some extracurricular activities, but he put up video game numbers for like a decade in the league. He averaged 30 passing touchdowns and 4,000 yards. If he is Kirk Cousins, phenomenal. That'll be one of the best Jets quarterbacks we've had in a long time. So I know Alon probably meant that as an insult, but that would be wonderful. We have not seen that kind of good, solid quarterback play in a long time. But no, again, to me, the thing that grabs me about Fernando is the clutch factor in games. It's not just that. That's not the only thing. But the thing that, is just he has this ability to rally his teammates and make the play when the plays are required. Penn State game is a game I saw this season. I've seen 4 or 5 Fernando Mendoza games this season. One of them was that Penn State game and the crazy comeback at the end. The other one was, of course, the Big Ten championship game and making that great throw with the balls on the line and chucking it to his guy down the right hash. That was just a beautiful cannon shot. And again, the interview after was weird, and there's been a lot of hoopla about post-game interviews this week in the media, but yeah, he's a little quirky, but you know what, if he could throw the pigskin like that, we could find a lot of things to make it happen. So yes, Ricky, do I think it's a sign? I absolutely do. And I love Stranger Things. What a great show. What a great show indeed. A couple other super chats coming through. NC Green, trading for a quarterback value chart is a starting point. That's another good super chat. Again, here from my daughter Zariah Luna again here. Whoops, almost pressed the wrong button there.
Wow.
Yes, there's a million factors. How many teams are interested? How many quarterbacks are available? Supply, demand. So no, the value chart, I think, is a good sort of teaching tool when we're on here to sort of generally explain what these picks are worth at various points. Because I think if I asked anyone on the street, hey, what's a first overall pick worth? They'd be like, 2 first-round picks. They don't have a sort of a tangible number for it. So I think it's a good explanation tool for people who don't understand as well. NC Green. So we appreciate that. Combined with your previous super chat totals, you're up to 5 raffle tickets, NC Green. So thank you very much. Another super chat coming through. Then we'll go back to the phone lines here. Here we go.
Wow.
For life, a $2 super chat. I just want to hear that Fernando song. Easy is the best. All right, fine. Every time you guys do it, we'll do it. Oh yeah, baby. Oh boy, imagine how much play that's going to get if he actually is selected by the New York Jets. Good Lord, have mercy. We're going to have to strike a deal with ABBA. That's for sure. Thank you for that, DMY for life, my pop's favorite shipmate. Well, you just added that to your raffle ticket totals for this month. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Troy Sturgis is up next. What's up, Troy? Good morning.
Hey, Paul. Hey, few things.
Yes, sir.
First off, I woke up this morning, Fernando songs in my head. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yes.
And second of all, I just feel like we're falling in that trap again. You know, the Zach Wilson, the Sam Darnold. Team wasn't ready. And we keep saying that, and we keep saying, well, we wasn't ready when they was here. Now look at them. Well, Sam anyway. But
yeah.
We said that about Geno too.
Mhm.
That well, the team wasn't ready. You know, we now look at him. He's doing great in Seattle, which not now because I don't know what happened to
right.
him.
Yeah, I would
But
say this to
anyway.
answer that initial thing that you brought up. Like, so I see a lot of people. There's some comments that were made on the show so far, and I'm trying to read as many as I can while also doing the show. And some people said, you can't draft Fernando. The defense needs a complete overhaul. They're not ready. And I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with the offense being ready while the defense is still figuring it out. And on the offense, the thing I feel good about, and it's a fair point that you bring up about the Zach Wilsons, the Sam Darnolds. I know they had a horrific game against the Dolphins, but I like the offensive line. I think it's very stout and young. I like that we have Garrett Wilson at wide receiver. That I like. I like that we have Breece Hall. And I also like that, again, even if you traded up for a Fernando, you would just have a bunch of other picks to use on other things to help out the team. Add another wide receiver. There's still free agency, too. There's trades. There's a lot of creative ways to add to this team. So I think that the Jets offensively, because that's where he'd be playing, whoever this quarterback is, I think they're more set up than any. I think they're set up the best way they've been set up since Mark Sanchez in 2009, when he had a superstar offensive line. He had great running backs, whether it was Thomas Jones or eventually you had LaDainian coming in or Sean Green, and you had wide receivers that they added to the mix eventually, and Braylon Edwards, and then Santonio Holmes and Jericho Cotchery. So I think whoever this quarterback will be, if they are to select one, that's not a guarantee. I think will be set up the best. A rookie quarterback has been set up with the Jets since 2009 when they had the AFC Championship game because of how this offense is. So that makes me feel confident about potentially taking a quarterback and dropping him right into the mix.
Well, even after saying that, you know, what I just said was, I think it's not a good idea, but this is probably, you know, once we do go through this draft, we should be better, and it's going to take more to trade up then, but I guess it's kind of a catch-22 type thing.
That's fair.
So, you know, there's a lot riding on this draft, I believe, and I hope Tanner is up for the task. We're bringing this quarterback in and doing him right. And, you know, another thing I got, Breece, you know, he looks good in spurts, but I don't know. There's times when I'm like, where's Braylon? Come on, hand it up the middle, run it with Isaiah a couple of times, maybe. I don't know. But there's days I just like, get Breece out of there. He's getting like 2 yards a carry or negative yards. And then there's days that he does that and then he breaks off one for 50. So, but anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I got to get off here. I'm hiding upstairs, so I gotta get back to work.
There you go, Troy. Priorities, baby. I love that so many people work us in, right? Chef Kevin Gilbert's at the restaurant. He's at, I know because I went to the Cloverleaf Tavern. That is, he's at the, where Chef was today was at like that, I believe it's the front register. If you come into Cloverleaf, you immediately are smacked by the bar. But if you keep walking across, you see like the sort of reception desk, and that's where he was. So I don't know if other people are like watching him as he's like talking Jets on the show or what's happening. I have no idea. And then you have Troy who's hiding at the upstairs part of his job. It's terrific. That's so cool. It's so cool. We have people all over the place that watch and enjoy this show. That's I love it. Like I said, on the Brees part, I don't want to kill Brees. He was playing with an undrafted free agent. If I was a Dolphins defense, I'm like, well, Brees ain't fucking beating me. Brady Cook, you want to beat me? Show me. And he was unable to. And he didn't get help. Again, he had 6 drops from his pass catchers, which certainly didn't help. But if I'm the Dolphins, I'm like destroying Brees Hall. And hey, sometimes you, right? Barry Sanders, right? I'm sure a lot of teams were like, we should probably stop that Barry Sanders guy. They put a lot of guys in the box and he still made plays. Now, that's a super unrealistic comparison to make with Brees Hall, but just the point that, like, sometimes you could try to bottle someone up, and just because you try doesn't mean you will succeed. But in the same token, when Brees Hall is playing with Brady Cook, I imagine that, and he had a horrific yards per carry, I imagine that didn't help either. So, but it'll be an interesting decision for the Jets. What do they do this offseason? They franchise tag him, let him go, sign him to a 3-year deal? I don't know, but it will be a fascinating thing. I think we continue to debate, certainly, moving forward. By the way, the poll that we put up, let's take a gander here where we're at right now. Ooh, we're closer to 50-50. The Field Yates proposed trade of the 7th overall pick, 18th overall pick, and a 2026 second for the number 1 overall pick from the Giants. Would you do it or not if you were a Jets fan? That's our YouTube poll right now. Yes, I do that right now, or no way, too much, man. 56% of you say no way, too much, man, but it's a lot closer than it was earlier. Interesting. I love when it's close. That means it's a good conversation. All right, back to the phone lines. We've got Uncle Indy here on the program.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Coffee Club.
Good morning.
First thing on the Brees, that's a Tanner issue.
Yes,
okay.
Right. That's another.
Okay, when Justin Fields is in, Brees is running outside the tackles. When any other quarterback is in, they got Brees running between the tackles. I don't understand it. I mean, Brees needs space. And when he gets space, he can make people miss, but he's not your bruiser. They're running him like a Braylon Allen would. Sure. You're putting him between the tackles and hoping that there's a hole there. But when Fields was in, they would run him outside the tackles. Yeah, right. I don't understand Tanner. Sometimes he's making some rookie mistakes, or I don't know if he's trying to be too cutesy. I really don't get it. Right. Just like when with Fields with I think it was the Baltimore game, the first drive, he ran the ball 5 times.
Who was that you're saying?
That first drive, I think during the Baltimore game, that first drive, Fields ran the ball 5 times.
Oh, New England. Baltimore is where Tyrod got his first start.
Okay.
So it was,
It's New England. But then Fields didn't run the ball again until middle of the third quarter. So it's like Tanner goes, oh, well, this worked. Let's not do that again. I'm not understand. I sit there, watch the game and go, okay, well, that was a great first drive. Let's do it, run it back until they stop it.
Right.
And he's I think he's just trying to be too cute. And it's like, dude, you got to come back down and say, look, if it works, keep doing it until it stops.
Yeah.
If it's working and you're throwing a pass to Garrett Wilson, and then you just keep doing it until they stop it. But for some reason, Tanner, every time we have success with something, doesn't matter what it is, he goes away from it.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't lean on it, and I don't know if that's a rookie thing or if it's just he's trying to show off and say, well, look, we have this whole playbook. Let's use it all.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got 2 plays that are working the entire game, why would you go away from it? But anyway, that's the rookie the rookie coaching mistakes that that the offense is making, the rookie mistakes that AG has made. Hopefully they get this fixed, and we'll see a little bit better product next year.
Well,
But
we
anyway,
can only hope. Yeah.
as far as the draft goes, we may end up at like 4 or 5.
Right. That's what we're projected right now, according to the analytics. They expect us to pick at 4.
And where's the Colts pick going to be at? 14?
I believe it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to be top 15 because salute to Phillip Rivers, 44-year-old grandpa Phillip Rivers. God bless. But I believe the Colts are going to lose out. I don't see them winning any of these games against all of these playoff teams. So then, if that happens, they would be a top 15 pick. It could be 15, 14, could be as high as 13.
Right. So let's just say, for instance, that you call the Giants up and you say, we want that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Well, let's not give up the number 5. You give them the Colts pick and a second round, and then you say, we got 3 first rounders next year. You get the best one of the 3, whichever one's the highest, and our second again next year. So they get 2 firsts, 2 seconds. But we keep that number 5 pick. So we'll take the number 1 pick and the number 5 pick. And they get 2 firsts and 2 seconds out of it.
Yeah, they do say 2027 is richer, though. So wouldn't you rather them get, because
we still have 2.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess the gamble is this: how high do you think our highest 2027 first is going to be? Because we have ours, Colts, and then Packers or Cowboys.
Right. You don't know, but the most Jet-like thing to do would be to win a bunch of games in 2026 and move our draft pick down even less. That's a Jet. We can count on not winning very many games and having another high draft pick next year. That doesn't seem like the most Jet-like thing to do. It's more like a 7, 8, 9 win season or something goofy like that would put us in the teens.
Yeah, I mean, that is creative. I give you credit for creativity.
And you get your quarterback this year, and you still get your top draft pick for a Caleb Downs, or if you wanted to go with a Tate and say, look, you pair these 2 up, and we'll figure out that you got a defensive minded coach. So focus on the offense and hope that the defensive minded head coach can put players in position on defense to at least be mid. We continue to build a decent defense every year, and yet with a defensive minded coach, but yet can forget to put an offense on the field. We don't even show up half the time. So why don't they just focus on getting us an offensive, building this offense, and let the defense, even if we put some mid players on, he can get the best out of them. I mean, hell, look, Michael Clemens had, 4 tackles yesterday or Sunday. He may not be on the team next year, but at least they can take these lower players and get something better out of them on defense. But you can't take a defensive minded coach and forget about the offense and expect him to be successful. So, why wouldn't the Giants take 2 firsts and 2 seconds, but not our 5th overall pick? And I'm sure if you looked at the numbers, that that's 4 picks for 1, and they need help too. So they're getting 2 players this year, 2 players next year.
That's true. I think the only thing that is up for challenge here is Joe Schoen still running the operation for the Giants. Because if it's a first-year GM, Joe Schoen gets fired as a first-year GM, I think he's more intrigued with the offer you proposed. If it's Schoen, he's like, I need to win now. And the 5th overall pick has a better chance of that than whatever future pick that I could get. Because I might not be here making that pick. Somebody else who replaced me may be making that pick. So that may be the hole in the plan potentially, depending on Shane or someone else running the Giants.
I mean, if he's thinking he's getting fired anyway, then why would he trade it? Why would he trade it? Let's just get his get his whatever number 1 overall pick. And so he's got to be thinking that he's going to be, without the injuries, without Cam getting injured and Jackson Dart in and out of the lineup, he's got to be thinking that he's got a job for next year too. Because if he's thinking he's a lame duck, then he's not dealing anything. He's just taking it for what he can get. He's gonna draft who he can and make the best of that.
That could be. I will say this because I know we're talking about this because this was part of Field Yates's mock projected trade as a Jets Giants deal. I'm going to be candid. I don't think the Giants are getting the number one pick. Here are the Giants' remaining 4 games on their schedule: the Washington Commanders, the Minnesota Vikings, the Raiders, and the Cowboys. I think 3 of these games are winnable for the Giants. I could see them being the Commanders, Vikings, and Raiders. And to be honest, they should have beaten the Cowboys the first time in Dallas, but that crazy overtime game went a different direction. So the Giants have it right now, and the Giants fans should take a picture of it because I don't think they're going to have it by the time we get there. I could see them winning at least 2 of these games, and that obviously would take them out of the mix.
Well, and even if it's not the Giants, I mean, you take the Raiders. Let's say the Raiders lose out, and Tennessee wins another game because that's something that they can do it towards the end of the year. I don't know who Tennessee plays at the last 4 games, but I think if you want to move up, that's great. But to give up this year's, whatever, we'll just call it the 5th.
The Titans and Saints play each other this season, so again, that's going to help. That's the good news for the Jets. A lot of these teams play each other. Giants and Raiders play. Titans and Saints play. Saints and Jets play. So, like, Commanders, Giants play. So a lot of these teams are ahead of the Jets are all going to compete against each other, which means someone's going to have to win. And if Jets lose, they're going to keep moving up because teams are going to have to continue to drop. So that's a benefit for the Jets. But I guess the fear is to your scenario, and that's what I see some people saying in the comment section is, if the Raiders get number 1, they're just going to take Mendoza, which I guess is possible.
Well, that all depends on whether Dante comes out or not.
Sure,
I think he's gonna. It makes sense for him to. It would make sense for him to come out because I think if you use the projection of the quarterback class next year, he's probably the 5th best quarterback on the sheet of 2027.
Correct. Ty Simpson's another one. If he has a hot college football playoff, does he enter the mix? I don't know.
Exactly. And so, it would make more sense for Moore to come out this year. And I think Moore fits more. He fits better out in Vegas than Fernando does.
All right.
With what they run out there, Moore would fit better, I think, out there. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents, BG. It's always good to see you.
Thanks, Uncle D. Appreciate you. All right, cheers. I see our boy DT coming off of our guy Uncle Indy, who hooked him up with the merch shop. DT Dylan Terriman says NYJ needs to lose out. They need the Giants to lose out. They need Tennessee to beat Saints and Jets pick 3rd after Giants and Cleveland. Yeah, I don't think they need the Giants to lose out because that's not happening. The Giants could win out. So I don't think they need. That's the one I'll push back on you, DT. I don't believe they need the Giants to lose out. The Giants have 2 wins. The Jets have 3 wins. So they don't need a full 4-game lose out for that to occur. There is a lot of paths. For the Jets to get the number 1 pick or just higher, they lose out. They need a little bit of help. And again, like I said, a lot of these teams play each other, so they all can't lose out. That's not possible. A lot of them are going to have to beat each other, which again should benefit the Jets. Back to the phone lines. Frankie here on the show. Frankie.
Morning, BJ. How are you?
Oh yeah, top of the morning to you, my friend.
I joined a little bit late, but I did answer the poll.
Okay. And what's your vote?
My vote was no. We stand pat. We wait.
Okay.
But pending, I think the poll's too soon, and this is my reasoning. I don't know what we're going to do in free agency.
Right.
I don't know what the team looks like. Don't know what other trades might occur. Don't know where our pick is. So if you ask me now, no, I'm not doing it. But that could change with time. Yeah, it could change with time.
Fair.
Now, but I think one of our biggest problems right now still is our front 7 in defense and our front 5, 6 on offense, if you want to call it that. I'm old school. I believe every game is won in the trenches. Still believe that. I think the game has changed from a sense where the NFL wants a lot of points, so the D-backs can't do a damn thing. They can't touch the receiver at all. You can't even unless you turn your head, you can't even distract. It's a joke how they've made it very offensive oriented, very difficult for the D-backs. Okay, so the only way to stop a good offense is to knock the shit out of the quarterback, whoever that is. And
Right.
I mean that
Yeah.
in a sincere way. I mean, you can't even tackle hard. I saw a
No,
game the other
no.
day. I
Yeah,
saw
that's true.
there was a roughing penalty on a tackle where I forgot who it was, a safety or somebody grabbed somebody, like turned them and threw them to the ground, and a flag came out. I go, are we goddamn fucking playing football? What the fuck are we doing here? What is
Yeah, I
this?
know.
It was a joke. It was a
Mhm.
joke. And even the announcers were saying, was like, what's going on here? It's like, now we can't tackle hard? I don't get it. So the game is predicated on the NFL wanting a lot of points. So they've changed it. And the only way you stop, if you look back at when Tom Brady lost games, it was
Mhm.
when he got knocked around, even when we beat him. It was when we got to the quarterback, when you stopped the run. The Giants beat them twice in the Super Bowl. Why? It was because the defensive line outperformed their offensive line. Every year, what would he do? I mean, I heard the story where he would walk. He literally lived. I think Robert Kraft was telling this story. He goes, "Yeah, Brady would walk down to my house. He lived close enough where he walked. He'd come to me and say, my wife makes enough money. Let's renegotiate my contract, and I want this offensive lineman and that offensive lineman." He'd pick out who he wanted, and they
Yeah.
just renegotiate his contract. And he goes, "If I play another extra few years, I'll make that money up, and I really don't care." So to me, I don't think we're as close on the offensive line as you think. I want to see what
Okay.
happens,
Sure.
because last week we got sacked
Oh,
6 times, I believe
six
it
times. That's
was.
correct. Yep.
And
Yep.
Brees couldn't really get going, and there's been a
Right.
few games like that, and
Yeah.
that concerns me. So I want to see. I want the offensive line built more. Don't
Yep.
even talk to me about the defensive line. We gave away our best defensive player. That's like
We did. Yep.
that's. I mean, we can't stop anybody, and we haven't been. And let's be honest, we haven't been able to stop anybody now for 2 years. I watched Anthony Richardson go down the
Uh,
field in a minute and a half and beat us.
that was bad.
So
Oh, whoop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Up. Yeah, go ahead,
sorry
Frank.
about
I don't
that.
know. I
Right,
pressed
so
the wrong button,
I,
I guess. Whoops. Sorry about that. Yeah,
I
go
thought
ahead.
maybe I said something you didn't like and you got rid of
No,
me.
no, and I didn't know that's what now I know for the future that's what the space bar does. I'm like, oh, there's a little
There you
dust
go.
on the
Yeah,
space bar, then you disappear. I'm like, oh, I have the power. Okay, no, go ahead, Frank.
yeah.
Yeah,
There
on
you
the
go.
offensive,
Anyway,
right?
just
The Anthony Richardson thing that was disgusting last year, where we're like, oh, all we have to do is stop him, and he can't throw. Run, run,
right. And
run,
there
run,
wasn't a
run,
lot
and
of
I'm like,
time
oh,
left. There was like a
yeah,
minute. I don't know, 2 minutes left, whatever it was, when he went right
yeah,
down the field. So I don't believe we're in the trenches in the front six, front seven of each side. I don't believe we should be. Um, and if things change in the off season, maybe through trades, then I'll consider giving up. Some. I mean, I like Mendoza. I think he's got the what they call the it factor. There's something inside
yes,
him that I saw an interview with him the other day. I sent it to Alon.
hmm
His mom is ill. He gets a lot of inspiration from his mom and his parents. He's
hmm
a good kid, but there's something about him that's you want to call it. Some people call it weird. Some people call it odd. Whatever. There's
yeah,
something inside that kid. Even Brady. You watch Brady's
hmm
combines. Well, if you watch Tom Brady during the combines when he came out, he didn't even look like an athlete. I mean, watch his.
definitely not.
I mean, he really doesn't. To be honest, let's
Yeah,
be fair, okay? He
hmm
doesn't. But there's something inside some of these people, and I'm not sure if Mendoza has that, but it seems like I want to see how he plays in the playoffs, and I want to see
hmm
what he does. Um, and then so yeah, I voted no right now, but
yeah,
it could change. And
but it's a fair
you
take.
agree that I know you always say you think our offense is almost there. I disagree. I don't think it is. I think we're far away, BG. I mean, tell me your
I don't
thoughts.
know
I
if
don't know.
well, here's the thing. So the offensive line, there's a lot of decisions coming up. Simpson's a
Right,
free agent. Myers a free agent. Tippmann, is he guard? Is he center? AVT is another one. So like there is it is not as solidified as all five are here and they're signed for the next 4 years and
right,
bing boom bam. It's all done.
right.
There is
Exactly.
decisions that have to be made there. I would say, again, that was not a good game performed by the offensive line, obviously, against the Dolphins. He got sacked 6 times. I think a lot of that, an undrafted free agent stepping in for his first NFL regular season action ever, and then them knowing Brees Hall's the guy to stop, so let's just cloud the box and throw shit Brady Cook hasn't even seen in any year of his life, the shit we're going to throw on him on defense of Anthony Weaver, and shout out to Anthony Weaver for the blitz packages and everything else that he was throwing in Brady Cook's face, where he was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I think that played a factor too. Now let's see, right? We have a final month to go. If the offensive line continues to allow 4, 5, 6 sacks a game, or whatever the number is, that's where we're like, oh boy, okay, maybe we
I
clearly
really want to see how we play against New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans, and I want to see this week too, because I mean,
Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, and just see if we've gotten any better. I'm just not. I mean, by the way, do we know who's quarterback? And I may miss at the beginning of the show. But
We do
did they
not.
announce it yet?
No. So there was a hint, and I talked about this earlier. So let's go back. So Monday, AG speaks. He's like, I don't have any update. We're still going through the injury on Tyrod, groin, Justin, pussy soreness, and then Brady Cook is healthy. Yesterday, the transaction wire comes out. So, like, did the Jets work out any quarterbacks? They didn't. That's interesting. Because they didn't would suggest to me, like, oh man, they must be healthy enough that they're going to make a straight up decision. They're not going to add anyone to the room. Because if they worked out somebody, they were like, oh shit, that means Tyrod or Justin is really hurt. It's going to be Brady. Now that it looks like they didn't work anyone out, AG speaks a couple hours, so we won't have to speculate anymore. So we'll see. But it sounds like to me they're just going to make a straight up decision on the 3 that are there. And I would assume, I mean, I guess we'll see. I will just throw random assumptions out there. We'll see. So no, they have not announced a quarterback decision. It should be coming at 12:45 is when AG is set to speak. But it's interesting they didn't work out any quarterbacks yesterday. That would seem to suggest that at least 2 of these guys are healthy enough. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I'd like to see Cook play just to see how he does.
Yeah.
And just take it from there. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Thanks again. Great show.
There he is, Frankie, here on the program. Appreciate you, Frankie. Thank you very much. Fascinating. Yeah, there's a lot to dive in here on all this. That is unbelievable. Yeah, Deshaun, I'm trying to be, straight here, but like, again, the Justin, my knee hurts, man, boy. Get the fuck out of here. Anywho, let's keep going on the phone lines. Mr. Famous Fulton joins us here on the show. Mr. Famous.
Good morning, Mr. Paul. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Lockwood.
Well, good morning to you.
Hey, how we doing?
Doing all right. I'm heading to my doctor's appointment at 11 o'clock today.
Okay. Well, prayers up for you, pal. Hopefully, good news and the PT and everything continues to go well.
Actually, it's going to be physical therapy today. So I got a therapy this week and on the 24th on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the big thing, Mr. Famous Fulton. As someone whose knee exploded and had to go through physical therapy himself, you just got to take it very seriously and make sure you do that work, because the work that you do while your knee is in this status of like the amount of physical therapy you put in is going to drastically affect how you feel immediately and how you feel in the future. You really want to put in the work in physical therapy, because if you are any level of lackadaisical during PT, physical therapy for the knee, it could come back to hurt you later. So make sure you do all your bells and whistles there. We want you fully healthy, Mr. Famous Fulton.
Yeah. It's the doctor, Dr. Andy.
Yes.
He was my physical doctor. He said it's not the knee, it's the back that goes through the knee.
Yes. Okay.
So that's why I'm just doing like stretches and everything.
Makes sense.
For like 4 weeks or something like that. So I got to do like 3 more times.
Sure.
Every single day. So it's just gonna be
stressful, I'm sure.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
So
what else is on your mind, Mr. Famous Fulton?
I did send you the link for the show this Saturday.
I appreciate that. Yes, we put that. Yes, we got it. We put it on YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully, you guys can come on the podcast and listen to it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So thank you so much for the invite, pal.
Yep. So Well, I better head off here, Paul, but I got to get ready for my virtual audition with NBC's The Voice right now.
Well, best of luck, sir, and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Yep, you too. Have a great day.
There he is, Mr. Famous Fulton. We'll be, by the way, I ran out of time, but we'll be adding Mr. Famous Fulton's wonderful collection to our video package moving forward. More on that to come for certain. We have over 300 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. That is a free way to contribute to this program. Make sure you guys do that. Let me take a quick gander over here on YouTube before we go back to the phone lines. All right, we have 63 likes, but over 100 people in the room. People, hit that like button. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared of it. Don't be afraid to use your power that's in your hands. Like that video. Make that a part of your routine every time you watch Boy Green Daily. You just come in, say, ask how everyone's doing, and just hit that like button. That's how this Jet show gets in front of other Jet fans out there in the universe. That is the free way to contribute. And if you'd like to contribute in more than just the free way, here, get a chance to win this beautiful Nick Mangold tribute shirt. This is from the New York Jets, a true Jet 74 with the Nick Mangold representation on the front of that shirt. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel, baby. Go over to YouTube, hit that money sign, super chat, super stickers, gifted memberships are all welcome. Every $3 you spend is a raffle ticket towards that contest. Take full advantage, folks, here as well. We're here on a beautiful Wednesday, December 10th, a little after 9 a.m. live here on the program. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to an absolute, if you put together the Mount Rushmore of New York Jets YouTubers, this guy wouldn't be on it. He wouldn't be on the 4. He's his own different carving into a different mountain above it. It is Ricky New York Live, baby.
Hey, what's happening, Paul?
Hey, good morning.
Did I hear you correctly? Did you say that you put a poll up?
Yep, I sure did.
That's awesome. When are the strippers getting here?
Hey, lay that money in. We could use it, baby. I gotta, shake a keister. $5 is $5.
In all seriousness, to some football talk.
Yes.
God help me. I actually agree with Alan.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh boy.
That Colts pick, that needs to be Sonny Styles. And
ooh, linebacker help. Okay.
One of our second rounders, we need to get Dylan T in the building, not the awesome content creator who's in the chat, but the safety from Oregon. Dude, that kid is a ball hawk and is exactly what we need. And man, you know, I don't know how things are going to shake out with the quarterback situation, but I'll tell you what, and I've said this before, you know, if Mendoza comes off the board or things don't fall right for us, dude, I'm okay using one of our later picks on Mensa, and I think we could be okay like that. But yeah, I mean, the more that I've watched and the more that I think about it, dude, I like Dylan Thieneman, I think is like becoming, like, in my opinion, like almost like a must draft player for this team. We need to solidify that back end. And I don't think that our offensive line is as far away as what the previous caller was saying. Now everybody's going to say Linderbaum, like that's, you know, the obvious solution. Man, I've got to tell you, I have seen fans from about 6 different teams posting all over Twitter the same exact thing. Like there's going to be a hell of a market for him if he does become available. But I'll tell you what, like I said, you know, I would be okay with Mensa maybe a little bit later. But me personally, like if we can't get Linderbaum, and you're going to think that I'm biased, but Florida State center, all ACC player,
Okay.
Luke Pettibon went the entire season without giving up a sack.
Wow.
Went, I think, 8 games without even giving up a single pressure.
That's impressive.
That kid's good. And
what's his draft stock?
The funny thing is when I first started messing around and doing a couple of mocks, like I didn't see him anywhere. And so I tried searching his name, and they were like, no data available on this player. And then all of a sudden his name appeared, and I think they had him ranked like 200 and something overall.
Oh
and
my
like
God.
since then, he
Mhm.
just keeps going up and up and up. And like now I think he's ranked like 140 something overall. Like
okay.
It's crazy. Which it's so weird, man. Like on the simulator, like guys' stocks are, going up and down and moving all over. There was a defensive tackle that I liked that was kind of like a, I'll say like a later round gem that I kind of liked. And I want to say he started out at like 200 and something overall. He dropped all the way to like 383 overall, and now has like jumped all the way back up to like 170 something.
What in
Like,
the world is going on?
Yeah, it's really crazy. Which would be Grayson Halton. I like him for, and I'll tell you what. I also like, if we decide to add another corner, some depth, insurance, maybe thinking beyond Brandon Stevens' contract when it ends. I like Devin Marshall from NC State. Very physical. Dude, and I remember when we drafted AZ Thomas, and Glenn was talking about him and talking about like how he's physical with guys at the line, and he does this like 2-hand punch. And man, we need some physical corners like that. That's one thing that Rivas did so well. He was so physical with guys at the line, and it would just disrupt the whole timing of the route when he would get hands on people. And so yeah, there's a few players, and and another one that I like for a late round pick, which this is another guy that started off ranked in the 200s. I watched him drop to like the mid 200s, and now he's back up to like 180 something overall. Would be Deuce Robinson from Florida State. 6'6", 234 pounds, is really fast for a guy that size. And he was a finalist for the Bolitnikov Award.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and went over 1,000 yards this year. Anybody who thinks that I'm, just being a Florida State homer or something, watch his highlights from the Wake Forest game. There's a play where like the DB, doesn't get his head around to look for the ball. It's almost like he's trying to push him out of bounds down the sideline. Deuce reaches around him with one hand and catches it one-handed behind the guy's back. Like, I've seen some one-handed catches. I haven't ever seen anybody like reach around and catch behind a defender's back like that. It was nuts. Kids made some hellacious plays, which he was at USC first, and then obviously, Lane, Lemon, they've got a fairly full receiver room over there, and so he entered the portal, came to Florida last year, and has been nothing but good. One of the few bright spots on that team. But yeah, I think that if we play our cards right, and we make the right picks, we could drastically improve this team in one draft. And unlike some people, I'm not worried about Moosey. Taylor, like almost all the picks from that last draft are all starting practically now. Thomas, Taylor, Membu, Kiko is a rotational player, but aside from Tyler Barron, all those guys are all contributing. So I got no problem. And for whoever said like, oh, we was that easy? Well, we got, or the other guy that said we got.
Nope. Did we lose Ricky? Ricky? I think we lost Ricky. I don't know what happened to his Wi-Fi situation. We have an easy super chat, though, coming in while we wait to see if Ricky could get his Wi-Fi situation back under control. A super chat coming in. Here we go.
Wow.
Easy says, put Jared B in the grinder. He's talking shit about me. Yeah, I believe that's a different kind of grinder than we offer here at Boy Green Daily, but we haven't played the video in a while, so I'll do that for you.
You mess with Kurt and you go into the grinder.
Okay, now this grinder of yours, is it a real grinder or is it some kind of a metaphor?
That's it. You're gone. Adios. TKO'd. Historical.
Wait. I won't be funny no more, see?
Security.
You ain't got to bring the man down here. Wait a second. Kurt, come on, please. I need this job,
Take
Kurt.
out the trash.
Trash? Oh, now look at here.
Get this news out of my face.
Yeah, I do love playing that video. Unfortunately, we just haven't had enough drama in the comment section to warrant using the grinder, but we do have that at the ready to press the big red button in the off the show. So there's been no B max, C max, D max. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to use it. So, but yeah, to be honest, Jeremy is a moderator on this chat, so I'm pretty sure even if you did, he went into any kind of grinder, he could ungrind himself. He has the power to do that as our moderator in our comment section. But thank you, Easy, for that. And hey, you know what? Hopefully, we're all just having some good fun out there. We're just having some good old fun out there in the social media streets. But Easy, what I can tell you is we will add that super chat to your previous super chat totals, my friend. That now takes you to 3 raffle tickets on the month. And unfortunately, Ricky's Wi-Fi collapsed like a used lawn chair. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that. Let's go to another super chat coming through. This one's from Mr. Chill 211 King. Here we go.
Wow.
All right, let's read this super chat here on the program. Much appreciated here. Oh, wait, we're having some technical difficulties here. 1 second, let me get that back up. Here it is, Mr. Chill 211 King. Thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend, and we will add this to the raffle pile. And you do now have a raffle ticket to our contest. You're $1 away from another raffle ticket at some point before the end of the month. If you just spend another $1, you will have that as well. But anywho, let's get to it. What do you think about trading our 2 second-round picks to move up, which will allow us to retain our 2 first-rounders? I don't believe that'll be enough. I'm a draft value chart nerd, and that won't be enough. Now, there is a chance to trade our 2 second-rounders to move up from the second round to the back end of the first round. So if you just mean having 3 first-round picks, now if you mean that to mean of getting a quarterback, that's not possible. That won't be enough unless the Jets do like the Giants last year in the draft, or in April. It's still this year, I guess, technically. This year in the draft, they traded back into the back end of the first. They traded back to the back end of the first round to get Jackson Dart, and they didn't have to give up future first. They were able to give up combinations of picks. So that could be a way if the Jets identify a quarterback, but he's not worth taking at 7th overall. Now, this is where you get too cute. The Jets right now have 7th overall and 18th overall. If you're not willing to take whoever that quarterback is at 7th, I imagine you're probably willing to take him at 18th. You're getting really cute if you take someone at 7, take someone at 18, and then you try to trade back to, let's say, 25 to get that quarterback. You're playing with fire if that's the case. But what do I just think about the Jets staying pat, Mr. Chill 211 King? So 7th overall, you take a wide receiver. 18th overall, you take a linebacker. And then use your 2 second-round picks and move it to the back end of the first round for like a defensive tackle or something, or whatever. We can all debate what the positions are. Sure, that's a viable strategy. viable strategy indeed. You could definitely make that case to build the roster up. I have no problems with that whatsoever. That totally is viable. Again, and that's what I think is the cool thing and will be the cool thing as we move forward here after those seismic trades at the deadline. The Jets have 5 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks over the next 2 years. We're going to debate to all hell. Trade for a veteran. Draft a rookie. Build up the team. We're going to make 1,000 cases. And the good news is you can make a compelling case for all of those different varying scenarios that exist out in the universe. So that's the cool thing about it. And that's what I like. So Mr. Chill 211 King, that is totally copacetic. I could see that. I could see that certainly happening. And Mr. Chill, you have 1 raffle ticket. Like I said, you're a dial away from another one. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the program. We'll be back in like an hour and a half for our live 11 o'clock NFL show with Dalton Wasserman of Pro Football Focus. We'll preview Week 15 in the National Football League coming up. Philip Rivers coming out of retirement and all the craziness that exists in the National Football League. We will also have our Jake Asman interview today, so stay tuned for that on the channel. Again, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Let me see what we're up to right now. One moment here. Let me pull this up, see what we're up to, see if we could get any kind of buzz happening over there before we officially sign off on this program. Let's go to our channel. All right, so we're at 390 subscribers right now on the Man-Child Show with Boy Green YouTube channel. Okay, we're up to 390. If we get 10 more subscribers, we're going to be doing a free autograph giveaway, and we'll do that on the live show. So here we go. Let me put this in right now. Let me put this in right now on YouTube, okay? This link I just put in on YouTube. You guys click this link, okay? That will take you to the Man-Child Show Boy Green Digital. We're doing a autographed giveaway with 10 more subscribers, just 10, if you guys can help us get there. So, again, here is the channel. I'll also throw it up on our screen here. This is the handle, youtube.com/MC Show Digital, or just go to that YouTube link I just put in there. We are 10 subscribers away, baby. 10 subscribers away from doing an autographed giveaway on the Man-Child Show with Boy Green Digital. And I'll also throw this up on the screen as well. Actually, I think we can just share this instead. That may be the easier thing to do. So let me share this on our screen. There we go. Let me put this up on the old big board here. This is my other YouTube channel that we do live content on. You see me on the cartoon image of the guy in the Jets jersey there. So it's me and Man-Child. It's a Man-Child Show with the Man-Child Show with Boy Green Digital. We do all kinds of content: Jets, Giants, Bills, Syracuse, NFL topics, and you can watch what you want to watch. And like I said, if you're subscribed to the channel, you're eligible for all of our free giveaways. All of our free giveaways on the channel, and we will have free giveaways continuing to move forward. We're 390 subscribers. We're 10 subscribers away. At 10 people right now, go to youtube.com/MC Show Digital and hit that subscribe button. We will do a live autograph giveaway, a sports memorabilia item giveaway coming up at 11 o'clock in an hour and a half. So, folks, make sure you jump on over there, support my other work. This is basically my radio show I did for 10 years. The show was on for 25 years. We've made it all digital. We're no longer at a terrestrial radio station. I do it right here from my home, and we talk NFL, Survivor for all the Survivor fans live at night, so you guys can tune into that content. And like I said, we're doing free giveaways. Our big number we're trying to get to is 500 subscribers. We're 110 away from 500. But you guys can help us get there right now. Quite frankly, we have 400 people in the room right now. So we should be able to get to that 10 live right now here on the program. So, folks, please make sure you guys jump on over there and feel free to support this show. And again, free giveaways. On my channel, you got to spend $3. $3 on the channel to get any of our giveaways. On the Man-Child Show with Boy Green Digital channel, it's free. All you have to do is be a subscriber. So as long as you hit that subscribe button, you will be eligible for the giveaway. For this giveaway coming up at 400, the giveaway we have at 425, the giveaway we have at 450, the giveaway we have at 475, and the giveaway we have at 500. We're continuing to do free giveaways to incentivize you guys to continue to move up. Also, if you help get people subscribe, so your family members or others, you get even more raffle tickets to win these free prizes, which again are free. All you have to do is click and join. So again, the Man-Child Show at Boy Green Digital. hopefully you guys can subscribe to that channel and show that support. So again, quick plug there at the end of the program. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, we'll be back live on that channel right here, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. That will be coming up here shortly at 11 o'clock. Hopefully we'll see you guys then. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And by the way, we'll end up on the poll here. Ricky really loves that poll of mine. We'll end up on the poll, and the question was, would the Jets give up 7th overall, 18th overall, 2026 second for the number 1 overall pick to take the quarterback? The final result is 54% of the fans say too much. Fair enough. Hey, that's why we have these conversations. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you at 11 o'clock. And also, like I said, we'll have our Jake Asman interview coming out today as well. Take care.